Luke here on Showman TV, joined by Chris Millington, so a 2-0 win. Your thoughts on the game?
I thought it, again, for familiar story, I think game of two halves. I think we were the stronger team in the first half. Obviously, Manny's finished a goal, which clearly offside, but still at the back of the net. We've had two occasions where we've hit the woodwork, and we've had other good opportunities, and Millie Ali scored a good goal, so we're going 1-0 up at half time, and arguably could have been 2 or 3. But it's important to say, I think Aldershot have had the moments in the first half, and then in the second half we knew they were going to come out and throw the kitchen sink at it, and fair play to Aldershot. They played some fantastic football and created 1 or 2 good opportunities, but the pleasing thing for me is, for the first time this season, I think, we've not played to our best. Certainly in possession we've not been at our absolute best, but we come away with the win, and all too often this season we've been the team who've played really well and come away on the wrong end of a 1-0 scoreline, for instance. So from that point of view we're pleased, and also from the point of view of the defensive display, because Aldershot have been as good as anyone in the second half today in terms of the way they've moved the ball, the quality with which they've moved and rotated and punched through lines, and we've stood up to that test, defended our box really well, and with some dangerous balls bobbling around the box, we've dealt with them in a really composed manner. So yeah, there was a lot to it, but yeah, we've got to be pleased with the result. We've got to be pleased with progressing, and in terms of performance, we're pleased with the defensive aspect of that performance, because it's another clean sheet.
Like you said, Town really edging the first half, certainly, and Millie Ali getting us off to a near perfect start.
Yeah, and he gets a lot of those chances, doesn't he? We were talking before the game about him making sure he works the keeper, because he had a very similar chance. In fact, in the last 2 games, he's had a very similar chance and ripped it into the side netting. And when he gets into those positions, he's just got to hit the target, because if the keeper saves it, it's coming out into a packed penalty area, and it might give somebody else the opportunity. But thankfully today he's placed it neatly into the goal. But Millie will get those chances, and he's getting 1 a game at the moment. So if that continues, you'd expect his goal tally to really push on. So good finish from him, and all round his performance was maybe not as consistent as he's been in recent weeks. So I'm pleased for him that we come away with the win, and he stuck at it even though he had moments in the game where it didn't quite go his way.
Of course, as you mentioned, Town with a disallowed goal, hit the woodwork a few times. Could have been a very healthy scoreline at half time. Yeah,
could, and probably should, and that's one of those times where we're in the technical area here thinking about what those misses might cost us later in the game, especially with it being a cup tie. You don't want those misses to come back and bite you. So we're pleased that we stayed strong and weathered the storm that Aldershot brought, and then obviously late in the second half, Harvey Gilmore's come on and done what he possibly could have done against Dorking recently and slammed it in the back of the net. So pleased for everybody, really.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, obviously Aldershot did get better in the second half, but super sub Harvey Gilmore with a crucial finish to kill the game. Yeah,
I mean, Aldershot are a good side, and when you're doing your analysis against them, they've got versatility. They can play in a number of different shapes, they can play a number of different styles. They've got the ability to be direct, but they've clearly shown today how good they are at moving the ball across the back 4 through the midfield, and then trying to penetrate in wide areas. So we know the threats that they bring, and we dealt with them largely well. I think there are moments when we could have dealt with them better, but with it being a cup tie, the most important thing is going through, and we've done enough to do that, and just glad Harvey gave us a little bit of breathing space at the end, so we could just at least sit back and enjoy the last 5 minutes or so.
As you mentioned, Town do progress now to the semi-final of the FA Trophy, potentially just 90 minutes away from Wembley.
Yeah, it'll be a big game. I mean, I just heard that all the National League teams are through. Clearly Gateshead playing Farsley, so it's not going to be easy. Whoever we draw, it's going to be a real challenge. It'd be nice to take them to the Shea, have a nice home tie and get the Shea rocking. But whoever we face, we'll go into it with a plan. We'll go into it with a real hunger and desire, because there's a real desire amongst the group to progress and have that experience of winning the trophy at Wembley.
Of course, that's now 4 straight clean sheets, and while Sam Johnstone didn't have too many saves to make, certainly saw a lot of the ball today.
Sam's playing well, yeah. I said to him the other day, whenever I mention to you guys or to Tom in the Courier that that Sam's only had 2 or 3 saves to make. I don't want that to suggest that he's not done a lot, because what he is doing, he's coming and collecting crosses, he's dealing with long throws, he's dealing with through balls, he's getting out to things really well, he's marshalling the defence. Anybody who can hear him today, getting them to squeeze out and squeeze the space, you know, that's really important work for the team. So Sam's got to take a lot of credit for that. Likewise the outfield players, and not just the defenders, because what we've seen in recent weeks and has been present in all of those 4 clean sheets is the amount of work that the forwards have done out of possession in trying to carry some of that weight, and that can't be ignored. The work rate that the front line are doing when we've not got the ball, to try and win the ball back as high up the pitch as we can, or at least spoil the forward passes of the opposition. So it's a real team effort, and it starts with the lads at the front, but everybody, including Sam Johnson, is having a big input into that.
And of course, that next is a return to league action and a final return to the Share as well. So we host Bromley on Tuesday night.
Yeah, looking forward to it now. You know, the energy that we've got about us, and the resilience and the structure is looking really positive. Fantastic to be getting bodies back in the shape of Luke Summerfield, Matty Warburton, Jack Senior. Clearly we've missed Adam Senior today, who's cup tied, so another player to come back into the fold. It's exciting, you know, and we've got to remember what's got us back into a position of strength, and that is massively based on hard work and energy, the organisation and the resilience within the group, and we've got to maintain that and implement it against Bromley if we expect to get anything out of the game. But we go into it in a positive frame of mind, which is great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Luke.